What's good, everybody? It's when I come back at you another video. So this video, the main idea of this video and the title of this video is that thoughts are things. And what I'm going to be sharing with you guys is an excerpt from The Secret app. So for those of you who've heard of The Secret, it's like a movie and a book by Rhonda Byrne, right? It has this logo right here, right? You're probably familiar with the red logo there. So I also have the app on the phone, and this app basically gives daily reminders and affirmations to help keep you on track with understanding the secret and the power of your thoughts and your emotions and all that good stuff. So the idea of the excerpt that I'm going to share with you guys is the main idea that thoughts are actually things, right? Because many people think that thoughts are just thoughts and that they have no power, they have no bearing on your life, when that couldn't be further from the truth, because thoughts are what determine your life, right? Because logically speaking, right, you take action based on the emotions that you feel, which is determined by the thoughts that you think, right? So it's your thoughts that lead to your emotions that lead to your action, right? If you are thinking if you're thinking thoughts of powerlessness, right, which is that you're not good enough, or that you're depressed, that nothing works out, that life is hard, right? These are feelings of powerlessness or thoughts of powerlessness, right? These thoughts will make you feel the emotion of powerlessness. Why is that? Because these are negative thoughts, and these are thoughts that your true self is not in agreement with, right? Because these are thoughts of lack. These are not true whatsoever. That's why you feel so bad. You think these thoughts because that's your body communicating to you that this is an incorrect belief. This is an error in thinking because this is not true. That's why you feel so bad. But people will believe it to be true based on their experiences, based on their environment, people around them, etc., right? So because they feel the emotion of powerlessness, the action that they take is going to be in alignment with that, right? Because if you already feel powerless, you're not going to want to take action. So the action that you would take is effectively inaction, because you feel so bad and you already believe you're not good enough, and you're probably thinking, well, what's the point, because things aren't going to work out and life is hard anyway. It is what it is, right? So you can see how there's a direct correlation from your thoughts down to your actions, because thoughts make you feel emotions, and your emotions determine the actions that you take. So your thoughts actually control your life. This is why it's so important to be cognizant of what you're thinking and manage your thoughts. Now, I understand that everyone's human, right? There's gonna be times where thoughts will just randomly appear in your mind, right? Because I understand our mind is like a supercomputer, right? So much is happening, so much information is processing at one time. But you also want to make sure you're aware of what you're thinking from time to time as well, because sometimes there might be a negative thought that creeps into your mind, and if you allow it to sit there, you think about it over and over and over, then it can really drastically affect your mood, or that thought can eventually become a belief, because a belief is nothing more than a thought that you think over and over and over, right? This excerpt that I'm going to share with you guys is going to highlight this example, right? So I'll begin with this. A person who sets his or her mind on the dark side of life, who lives over and over the misfortunes and disappointments of the past, prays for similar misfortunes and disappointments in the future. If you will see nothing but ill luck in the future, you are praying for such ill luck and will surely get it. So I know this quote is operating from the negative perspective, right? But we can also see it from the positive side. But let me jump into it as it is, right? The first part of it says, a person who sets his or her mind on the dark side of life, who lives over and over the misfortunes and disappointments of the past, prays for similar misfortunes and disappointments in the future. What does this mean? This means that someone who may have faced challenges or humble beginnings in their past, right? A lot of adversity. There might be people who are fixated on their past, that they're focused on their past because they keep thinking about their past. They keep thinking about everything that happened, everything that took place, even though the past is already behind them and the past itself has no bearing on the future, because they focus all their attention on the past and they think negative thoughts about the past all the time. Their past It's eventually going to become their future because that is what they're focused on. What you put your attention on grows. What you focus on grows. So if your if your past had a lot of negative experiences, and that is what you put your attention to, because you are thinking those negative experiences again, you're effectively, even if these negative experiences happened 10, 20 years ago, the fact that you're thinking about it means that you're experiencing it again, which means you're reliving it again. So if you're thinking about it, you're feeling these emotions, you're reliving the same incident over and over and over. So then by default, if you're reliving the incident over and over and over, then you're effectively bringing that into the future, and you're attracting that into the future, right? With how the law of attraction works, the energy that you put out, which is of course the thoughts that you think, right, and the emotion that you feel. Because emotion, if you hyphenate the word, is E-motion, which is energy in motion, right? That's what emotions are. The energy that you put out, or the emotion that you put out, you effectively attract that same energy back to you in the form of people, events, and circumstances. So if you're thinking these negative thoughts, you're reliving your past, all the negativity that's happened in the past, and you're attracting that back, and you're attracting that to you moving forward. So this is why some people, when they experience bad events and they basically have baggage, it's almost as if all of the bad events they happen, just imagine they put all of the bad events that's happened in a hefty trash bag, and they carry the bag over their shoulders the entire time. So even though they're now older, and at any point they can let go of the bag, let go of all the baggage, and reinvent themselves as someone brand new, as someone that's positive, that's happy, that feels good, that has the power to now change the future. They're holding the bag over their shoulder and carrying it each and every day, right? And then they wonder why their shoulder hurts, and they're in pain, and they wonder why the same events continue happening. That's because they focus their attention on that, right? They're placing their attention on events and experiences that they don't want and didn't like. And then they're surprised when they experience more of what they didn't like. Life is about figuring out your preferences, figuring out what it is that you want, and focusing your attention on what it is that you want, because you have the power to be, do, or have anything. You have the power to create anything in this lifetime. And for some people, unfortunately, they're not aware of their power. And so they use their creative gift to create more of the past, to create more of the bad experiences, to create more of what they don't want. And then they'll say that they don't actually have power, because if they did, they wouldn't be living this life. They wouldn't be creating the events that they've created. When you do have power, you just haven't been aware of it or how to use it, right? The second part of the sentence is this: if you will see nothing but ill luck in the future, you are praying for such ill luck and will surely get it. So this is more proof that what you focus on, that's the energy that you're putting out, and so that energy will be attracted to you in the form of people, events, and circumstance. So if someone will see nothing but ill luck in the future, you're praying that that ill luck will happen and that you'll surely get it. Now, don't panic, right? Because we can look at this quote on the flip side. We can look at it on the positive. Remember, there's always two sides to every coin. There's always two different perspectives. So this quote, even though this quote appeared from the negative side, you can also look at it in the positive side, right? And I'll read it, I'll read it from the positive perspective, right? Now, of course, I might stumble a little bit because I'm switching the words as I read it, but you guys will get the idea. So this is the positive version of it. And look how it sounds. A person who sets his or her mind on the bright side of life, who lives over and over the great fortunes and the happy moments of the past, prays for similar great fortunes and happy moments in the future. If you will see nothing but great luck in the future, you are praying for such great luck and will surely get it. So that is how it all sounds in the positive side, in the affirmative side. And it sounds great. It makes life feel as though it is a self-fulfilling prophecy, which it is this entire time. And is there any better feeling to know that if you focus on the good things, that you will get more good things, right? Doesn't it feel good to know that if you focus on feeling good, feeling lucky, feeling all these great things happening, and believing that it will happen in the future, that it will in fact happen, right? How many people do you know wake up in the morning with a smile on their face, excited, like they're just shaking with excitement because they're so eager to start their day, and they're just telling themselves that they're so happy to be alive, and that they're lucky, and that life is absolutely amazing, and things are always working out for them? Most people will probably say that they haven't seen someone like that, or haven't come across someone like that. And is it a surprise, right? Does that surprise you that you've probably never seen somebody like that? Because most people are not like that. And so imagine how different your life would be if you was like that. If that were how you showed up each and every day. Excited, eager, jumping out of bed, telling yourself, truly telling yourself that you are lucky, that you are lucky, that you are lucky, that miracles happen to you all the time, that blessings unfold for you, that life is a trip, life is a joy, life comes easy and effortless to you, right? Because we hear people say all the time, life is hard. Life is hard. That's everyone's go-to statement to like cope when something bad happens. Like, life is hard. When have you ever heard someone say life is easy, life is effortless, life is smooth sailing? Oh yeah, everything will be taken care of. No need to worry about anything. Life will be taken care of. You don't hear that from people, right? So if you're one of the few people who can wake up and feel that way and operate like that, how different do you think your life would be from that perspective, right? It will likely be drastically different than how things are right now. And as you tell yourself those affirmations, those thoughts you think, you're going to feel so happy. You're going to be full of life. You're going to be ecstatic. You are going to want to take action. You are going to, because you know everything's working itself out in your favor, and everything is going to be taken care of, and everything flows to you so easy and effortless. So you're just going to be wanting to take action, and the action that you're going to want to take is going to be towards the things that make you happy, right? If you're feeling and thinking thoughts of powerlessness, you're not going to take any action, because you're going to be telling yourself, well, what's the point? Life is the way it is, and I'm where I'm at, and there's nothing I could do about it. But if you're so happy, if you feel that you're blessed and everything's great and everything about life is going so well, you are going to be eager to jump out of bed and make something happen. And the best part about this, right? This is the $1 million secret right here. Nothing in your life ever has to actually change for you to change. For you to adopt that new personality and that new attitude, nothing in your actual life would need to change, right? Your day to day could be exactly the same as it was yesterday, but you could just wake up with a different energy, and because you have a completely different attitude, the rest of your day is going to go completely differently, and is going to be significantly better than yesterday. And you can bet on that, right? So this is what I mean when I say with the title of the video that thoughts are things, because the thoughts that you think will determine the energy that you put out, will determine the action that you take, and it will determine what gets attracted into your life, what you effectively create into your life. So your thoughts literally become things. So that's why you want to be cognizant of what you're thinking, and from time to time manage your thoughts. Like, I understand we think so many thoughts each and every day, so there's going to be times where there might be a negative thought to creep in, but once you feel that, you can nip it in the bud and you can kick it out. You can stop to think about it and try to think where it came from, and reflect on that to see if it came from a limiting belief or it came from something in your past, whatever, and you can look to correct it. But you want to make sure you are in charge of your thoughts and think positive thoughts, because most people are quick to shoot down ideas. Most people are quick to say something won't work out, something can happen, this, that. Most people are negative by default, like they're automatically negative. And if you've been that way, no need to be mad or angry or panic, right? This can be the start for you, because I understand that if you've been conditioned or trained a certain way, and say, for example, you're watching this video, say you're 20 years old, right? If you're used to being negative automatically, then you would effectively have to undo 20 years worth of conditioning from your environment, from people around you, friends, family, whatever it is, right? And that will take time. I understand. So by no means should you beat yourself up, right? What I'm saying is just be aware that thoughts are things. Be aware of what you're thinking, and you just want to make sure you are your own number one supporter, because the point of us living here and being alive is having fun and smiling and doing what makes us happy. And most people, they aren't even their own number one cheerleader, which doesn't make sense, because most people would shoot down their own ideas. They'll beat themselves up when it's like, you only have one chance, one life here. Why not make the most of it? Insulting yourself, being hard on yourself, judging yourself isn't helping you. It isn't helping you, right? You're being so hypercritical about yourself. Why not be happy about yourself? Why not be proud of yourself and be gentle with yourself, right? You're supposed to be your own number one supporter, and most people have themselves as their number one worst critic and enemy, right? Change that, right? Start tapping into the right energy. Start saying the things that you want to begin experiencing, right? Even if life was hard back then for you, do you still want it to be hard moving forward, right? Like, most people don't think that. They'll just say, oh, life is hard. And that can very well be an accurate reflection of how you felt about your past. But you need to remember that your past already unfolded and your future has yet to unfold. And your future doesn't need to have anything in your past involved, right? Your future can begin with a brand new slate, and it can be completely different. If your past was bad, your future can be completely different than your past. It can be light years better, significantly better than your past. But yet people get so hung up about talking about the negativity of their past. They get hung up and say, oh, life is hard. Well, do you want life to continue being hard? I think most people wouldn't want that to be the case. So if you don't want that to be the case, then begin speaking about the things that you want. Begin speaking about how you want things to be. Doesn't it feel better to say and believe that life is easy, that everything comes to you easy and effortless, that you're the luckiest person in the world, that miracles unfold for you, that you could be, do, or have anything in this lifetime, that you were born rich and abundance is your birthright and you have access to it all right now? Like, doesn't that feel a lot better to say? Like, doesn't that feel as though a weight is lifted off of your shoulders, right? It sounds a lot better than the contrary to all those ideas, right? So begin waking up with some energy and excitement, because you have the power to create the life that you want. Start smiling. Know deep down that everything is going to work itself out, and begin telling yourself from this moment on, things are going to be good, that life is great. Life is unfolding perfectly for you, and your life is going to be perfect for how you've envisioned it, how you designed it, right? That the best days of your life has yet to come, right? That's something to be happy about. That's something to smile about. So that wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. Do leave a like and subscribe as we're on the road to a million subscriber, guys. So once again, it's Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.